Some exciting shit happening up in here, right? Finally. It's pretty boring till now.
Yes.
Oh, shit!
Don't let the fishmonger beat you. Not a chance.
Come forward.
Go.
You and Nakia are not to play in the catacombs, T'Challa.
I'm sorry, Baba. What is wrong, Baba?
I was forced to make a difficult choice today.
You told me that every choice a king makes is difficult.
True. But some choices are harder than others.
I am sure you did what is right for Wakanda. You always do. You are a great king, Baba. And that is why you will always reign.
Always? But what about when I get old and gray and past comes to carry me off to the ancestors?
But then I'll be Panther. And I'll beat them back with my Panther claws. And you'll live forever.
He was there. He was there. My father. My whole life I would watch him. Wearing the suit. He could pick up a grown man with one hand. Run as fast as a zebra. Then he told me he was too old to carry the mantle of Panther. He would pass it to me and just be king. He told me he was too fat to fit the suit. I told him not to speak at the UN. He taught me not to trust the outside world. Why did he change his views? Time. It has a way of making you look back on the things that you have done. Do you often look back at your time as a war dog? No. The outside world is too unpredictable for an old man like me.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. So surprise Black Panther video, because the DVD is getting ready to drop, they're dropping all kinds of bloopers and deleted scenes, so it provides some nice context given what happens during Infinity War. So I know there are a lot of questions about what's happening now going into Avengers 4. I'll try to address that too. But if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. Because I wasn't expecting this, I will announce a new Infinity Gauntlet giveaway winner during this, but there's more Infinity War to come today. But the cool thing that's going on here, obviously the bloopers are really funny, but there are two separate scenes. The young T'Challa, they give a big shout out to Bast, the Panther God. What happens when Bast comes to take me away? The movie kind of addressed the mythology of Black Panther. Like, you have Iron Man, largely a technologically based character. So his character is mostly about science until he starts fighting grimace-looking characters with nutsacks for chins. But thus far, Black Panther and Doctor Strange have been our entry into the more magic, mythologically based characters of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it's only going to push more into that with the Black Panther sequel. So I am hoping that at some point he gets to have a moment or communion with the actual Panther God. But in this, he really just goes to the ancestral plane to speak to his father. But the other funny moment of this is when he takes in the heart-shaped herb for the first time and comes back after seeing his father the very first time that he goes to the ancestral plane and says, "He was there, I saw him, I talked to him." And they have this long chat about why his father changed his views on the outside world, referencing what happened during Civil War, because that was all about opening the borders of Wakanda before you got into that conflict. The Black Panther later paid off at the end of the movie where he was like, okay, we're finally actually going to open our borders. But they make a really sly joke when they talk about his father passing the mantle of Black Panther to T'Challa. He says his father said that he was getting too old, so he was just going to continue becoming king, like the young Black Panther in the other clip is like, "You'll always reign, you'll always be alive." And his father's like, "Yeah, maybe don't hold your breath on that." But then Zuri hilariously says that his father really passed the mantle of Black Panther because he felt like he'd gotten too fat for the suit. But now just careful for spoilers if you haven't seen Infinity War, because we need to talk about the aftermath of that and how it's going to affect modern day Wakanda going into Avengers 4. Because as far as we know, here we go, Black Panther has been turned to ash. One of the biggest surprises of the end of the film. Like, you think that it's going to be Okoye, but then he disappears as his arm reaches out to her. So the Russos recently confirmed my Soul Gem theory that Gamora is inside the Soul Gem. When Thanos is talking to young Gamora at the end of the film, everything kind of looks orange, and there's that shrine that looks like the one from her home planet in the flashbacks. They also confirm that's the Soul World, so when he's talking to this entity that's young Gamora, it's really a manifestation of what's left of her life force. So at some point, she'll come back during Avengers 4, but what about all the people that were turned to ash, particularly Black Panther, if his people regularly talk to their ancestors on the ancestral plane after they're dead? So a lot of people were like, hey, wait a minute, if the Soul World is going to be an actual thing during the movie, is that where Black Panther and all these other people went? Because we know they're coming back, and now that they're all dead, Shuri is effectively Queen of Wakanda. She's next in line for the throne. There were a whole bunch of questions about what Thanos actually did when he snapped his fingers, like, when the people were turning to ash, were they being killed or were they being erased from existence? Because that would really change the timeline if T'Challa never existed. Since the movie's been out for a little while, the directors have started talking about it in more detail. It sounds like all the people that were turned to ash were killed, so most of everybody will retain their memories of them. But the forces of Wakanda will still turn to Shuri to lead them until they get Black Panther back, which is why I think they put her in a costume like the dress she was wearing that looked very much like the Black Panther costume. Like, look at the lines, it's made to look black, so it's like they're trying to remind you, hey, Shuri is next in line for the throne. When T'Challa was exiled from Wakanda for a little while in the comics, she was named the new Black Panther and took the mantle up. So I think the Russos built a little bit of that into the movie in the way they use the Shuri character. Like, they just want to wink at that off in the distance without telling you, hey, this is exactly what we're doing. Early speculation, what they might do is as if Shuri takes the art-shaped herb. I know there's a bit of a continuity question because they burned a lot of that at the end of the Black Panther movie. But remember, a lot of that was taking place right after Civil War, so if they brought some of it back, they could have enough for Shuri to take some so that she can go into the ancestral plane and speak to Black Panther's spirit, and they can start to deal with what happens going into Avengers 4. Like, we're going to bring you back, brother. She can have some moment with him. Because they literally do something like that during the Black Panther movie when he's talking to his father, except his father's like, it's my time, I'm supposed to be dead, I'm not meant to come back. You have to go on without me and learn to be king yourself. Obviously in Infinity War, that's not the case. These people are not meant to die. So when you're thinking about communicating with some of the people that they've lost, just think about the mechanics of how the ancestral plane works in the Black Panther movie and how the Soul Gem works in the comics and how the movie depicted that. So what'll happen is I was originally planning on doing a Thor Stormbreaker video. Hopefully that will still post later tonight. If I don't get it out in time, then I'll just post it tomorrow morning. No worries, still plenty of Marvel stuff posting in the next couple of weeks. Congratulations to the giveaway winner from my last big video, Yash Jane. Please private message me so I can get your contact details. I'll name a new giveaway winner when I post that Thor video. Click here for my Avengers 4 video, and click here for that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Infinity War crossover scene. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.